First contact and desperate plea. Admiral Sarah Chen stood at the viewport of Earth's Orbital Defense Station Alpha, her expression unchanging as she watched the approaching alien vessel. The ship's hull bore clear signs of weapons damage, its sleek design marred by scorched metal and trailing debris. This wasn't how humanity had imagined first contact would happen. Analysis complete, Admiral. Lieutenant Rodriguez reported from his station. The vessel's using some form of quantum drive we've never seen before, but their weapon systems appear to be offline. Life support is failing. Chen nodded, her mind already processing the implications. After decades of searching the stars for signs of intelligent life, they had arrived on Earth's doorstep, not in peace or curiosity, but in desperate flight. "Open a channel," she ordered. "All frequencies, universal translation protocols active." The response came almost immediately, a burst of multi-spectrum signals that the station's AI quickly processed into comprehensible audio. "This is Ambassador Kestel of the Galactic Alliance," a voice crackled through the speakers. "We come seeking immediate assistance. Our civilization faces extinction." Chen exchanged glances with her command staff before responding. "This is Admiral Chen of the United Earth Defense Force. We're reading critical damage to your vessel. Permission granted to approach Docking Bay 3. As the alien ship limped toward the station, Chen received an urgent communication from the United Earth Council. "Admiral." Council President Matthews appeared on her private screen. "We've detected multiple quantum signatures at the edge of our solar system. Whatever's chasing them may be following." The damaged alien vessel completed its docking sequence, just as Chen's tactical officer reported more troubling news. "Admiral, long-range sensors are picking up massive energy signatures. Multiple vessels, larger than anything we've ever encountered, approaching from the direction the ambassador's ship came from." Inside the station's secure conference room, Ambassador Kestel, a tall, crystalline being whose translucent body pulsed with internal light, faced the hastily assembled Earth leadership. "We didn't expect to find help here," the ambassador admitted, their voice translated by the station's eye. "Your civilization was classified as pre-spacefaring, barely able to reach your own moon." Chen allowed herself a small smile. "Your intelligence might be somewhat outdated, Ambassador." Clearly, Kestel's crystalline form flickered with what might have been embarrassment. "The Nexus Collective, a species we thought long extinct, has returned from dark space. They've already destroyed 3 core worlds of the Alliance. Our most advanced weapons prove useless against their quantum phase shields." President Matthews leaned forward. "And you came to Earth because we detected unusual energy signatures from your planet," Kestel explained. "Patterns we couldn't identify. We hoped you might have developed something different. Something they haven't adapted to." Chen's smile widened slightly. "Ambassador, are you familiar with the human saying, 'Necessity is the mother of invention'?" Before Kestel could respond, alarms blared throughout the station. Multiple ships dropping out of quantum space, Lieutenant Rodriguez announced. "Nexus Collective vessels confirmed. Their weapons are charging." "How long until they're in range?" Chen asked, already moving toward the command center. 17 minutes, Admiral." Chen turned to Ambassador Kestel. "You came looking for something different, Ambassador. You're about to see exactly how different humanity's approach to space warfare can be." She activated her neural link to Earth's defense network. "This is Admiral Chen. Authorization Echo 79 Delta. Activate Protocol Prometheus. Deploy the Ghost Fleet." Around Earth, hidden bunkers beneath oceans and mountains began to open. What emerged wasn't the primitive chemical rockets or basic ion drives the Galactic Alliance had observed and dismissed. Instead, hundreds of sleek vessels rose into the sky, their hulls gleaming with a strange, almost fluid metal that seemed to bend light around them. What are those ships?" Kestel asked, their crystalline form pulsing with intense light. "Something we developed while everyone thought we were still figuring out how to reach Mars," Chen replied. We call it the Ghost Fleet. Quantum entanglement drives paired with metamaterial hulls and gravity manipulation weapons. Not quite as advanced as your technology, perhaps, but sometimes the simplest solutions are the most effective. As the Ghost Fleet took up defensive positions around Earth, Chen watched the ambassador's reaction carefully. You see, Ambassador, while the Galactic Alliance was watching our space program, they missed something fundamental about humanity. We never develop in predictable ways, and we're very, very good at keeping secrets. The first wave of Nexus collective ships appeared on the main view screen, their massive forms distorting space around them. But they were about to learn what so many others had learned throughout human history. Underestimating humanity was always a fatal mistake. Ghost Fleet, this is Admiral Chen. She broadcast to her ships. Show them why Earth didn't need an invitation to join the galactic community. Engage at will. As the battle was about to begin, Ambassador Kestal realized that perhaps they had found exactly what the Alliance needed, not just advanced technology, but the unpredictable ingenuity of a species that had learned to survive and thrive by breaking all the expected rules of development. The human response. The Nexus collective ships hung in space like dark monoliths, their angular forms defying conventional spacecraft design. Admiral Chen watched as tactical displays showed their energy readings climbing to devastating levels. But instead of fear, she felt a familiar calm settle over her, the focus that came before battle. Ghost Fleet Squadrons report ready, Admiral. Lieutenant Rodriguez announced. Metamaterial camouflage active. Quantum entanglement drives synchronized. Ambassador Kestal. Chen turned to the crystalline being beside her. You might want to watch this. Your assessment of Earth's capabilities was based on what we wanted the galaxy to see. Now you'll witness what we've been preparing for the past 50 years. The first shots from the Nexus ships were devastating beams of quantum-phased energy designed to tear through any known shielding. But as they reached the Ghost Fleet's position, something unexpected happened. The beams seemed to pass through the human ships as if they weren't there. Holograms. Kestal's crystalline form pulsed with confusion. Decoys. Neither. Chen smiled. Quantum state manipulation. Our ships exist in multiple probability states simultaneously. You can't hit. Tell me, Ambassador, Chen said, watching the fleet's formation. How many more Nexus ships are in their main fleet? Thousands, Kestal replied, their crystalline body dimming. This was merely a scouting force. The main fleet has already destroyed 3 Alliance core worlds. Nothing we have can stop them. Chen's expression remained calm as she activated a holographic display of the solar system. Throughout the projection, hundreds of small dots began to appear, hidden installations and shipyards that had remained undetected by alien sensors. What you've seen today, Ambassador, isn't our main fleet either. The Ghost Fleet is just our rapid response force. Would you like to see what humanity considers a proper war fleet? As orbital doors began to open around Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, revealing vast armadas of ships even more advanced than the Ghost Fleet, Kestal realized that the Alliance hadn't just found an ally. They'd discovered a civilization that had spent decades preparing for exactly this kind of threat. Welcome, Chen said with a slight smile, to humanity's real space program. Battle preparations. The war room aboard Earth's orbital command center hummed with activity as holographic displays showed the positions of both Alliance and Nexus forces across the galaxy. Admiral Chen stood with Ambassador Kestal and the newly arrived Alliance Fleet Commander Vexnor, a towering being composed of interconnected energy fields. You understand. Vexnor's translated voice carried traces of skepticism, that what you propose goes against every established principle of space combat. That's precisely why it will work, Chen replied, manipulating the holographic display to show the Nexus Collective's attack patterns. You've been fighting them conventionally, matching quantum technology against quantum technology. That's why you're losing. The display shifted to show recordings from the recent battle near Earth. Ghost Fleet vessels phased through solid matter, attacked from impossible angles, and wielded gravity itself as a weapon. We developed our technology along a different path, Chen explained. While you perfected quantum mechanics, we explored probability manipulation and space-time distortion. Your ships, Kestal observed, crystalline form pulsing with interest. They don't just use stealth technology. They exist in multiple states simultaneously. Schrodinger's warships, Chen nodded. An old Earth physicist proposed a thought experiment about a cat being both alive and dead simultaneously. We applied that principle to our entire fleet. The Nexus can't hit our ships because they can't predict which reality state they're in. Vexner's energy field flickered with what might have been amazement. And these gravity weapons, they bypass our strongest shields because they alter space itself. Exactly. But what you've seen is just the beginning. Chen gestured, and new holograms appeared showing vast shipyards hidden throughout the solar system. We've been building and improving our technology for decades, preparing for a threat we knew would eventually come. The Ghost Fleet was our prototype. The main fleet is something else entirely. The holograms showed massive ships emerging from concealed bases on Mars, Jupiter's moons, and even the Kuiper Belt. These vessels dwarf the Ghost Fleet ships, their hulls rippling with patterns that hurt the eye to look at directly. We call them the Horizon-class battleships, Chen explained. They don't just manipulate probability. They can create localized temporal fields, generate micro-singularities, and even temporarily separate portions of space-time from normal reality. Kestal's crystalline form dimmed slightly. Such technology, it should be impossible for your civilization's development level. That's because you assumed we would follow the same path as other species. Chen smiled. But humans have always been good at finding unexpected solutions. When we detected your quantum communications 30 years ago, we didn't try to replicate your technology. Instead, we asked ourselves what would happen if we approached the problem from a completely different direction. Vexner moved closer to the holographic display, studying the human ships with newfound respect. How many vessels in your main fleet? Over 1,000 Horizon-class ships, with more under construction. But numbers aren't what matters here. What matters is that the Nexus Collective has never encountered anything like our technology. They've adapted to counter every weapon the Alliance has, but they can't adapt to something that breaks the very rules they rely on. The alien commanders spent the next several hours reviewing Earth's battle plans. The human strategy seemed impossible, reckless even, but they had already proven their effectiveness against the Nexus scouts. As the meeting concluded, Vexner turned to Chen. Your species has achieved something remarkable. Admiral, you've developed technology that even the Alliance's most advanced scientists thought impossible. But why keep it secret for so long? Why not join the galactic community? Chen's expression grew serious. Because humanity has learned from its own history that when two civilizations meet, the more technologically advanced one often destroys the other, whether they mean to or not. We wanted to make sure that when we finally joined the galactic community, we would be joining as equals, not as potential victims. As the alien commanders departed to coordinate with their own forces, Chen received word that the Nexus Collective's main fleet had begun moving. Their trajectory suggested they would reach Earth's solar system within days. Send word to all commands, Chen ordered. Operation Pandora's Box is now in effect. It's time to show the galaxy why humanity chose to walk a different path. The turning point. The vastness of space between Mars and Jupiter became a staging ground for the largest fleet engagement in known galactic history. Admiral Chen stood on the bridge of the UES Prometheus, the flagship of Earth's Horizon Fleet. The massive vessel's probability-shifting hull rippled like dark water, occasionally revealing glimpses of other realities through its surface. Nexus Fleet approaching final engagement range. Lieutenant Rodriguez reported from his station. 5,000-plus vessels detected. Their energy signatures are off the charts. Chen watched as the Alliance ships took up their positions alongside Earth's forces. The contrast was striking. The Alliance's sleek, conventional warships with their quantum drives and particle weapons, compared to humanity's reality-bending vessels that seemed to flicker in and out of existence. All ships, Battle Formation Delta, Chen commanded. Initiate Operation Pandora's Box. The human fleet began to move in ways that defied conventional space combat doctrine. Instead of maintaining clear lines and formations, the ships scattered in seemingly random patterns, each one leaving ghost images in its wake as it existed in multiple states simultaneously. Enemy fleet launching first wave, Rodriguez announced. Multiple quantum phase weapons detected. The space between the fleets lit up with energy as the Nexus Collective unleashed their full arsenal. Beams of concentrated quantum energy, capable of shearing through normal matter, lanced toward the human ships, but where they should have struck, they found only empty space, or passed through ships that were simultaneously there and not there. Now, Chen ordered, execute primary attack pattern. The Horizon-class ships responded instantly. They didn't just fire weapons, they weaponized reality itself. Micro-singularities bloomed throughout the enemy fleet, creating points where space-time curved in on itself. Temporal fields erupted, trapping Nexus ships in bubbles where time moved at different speeds. Some vessels found themselves suddenly existing in probabilistic states where they had already been destroyed. By the first light, Ambassador Kestal whispered from their position on the bridge. This isn't combat. This is reality itself being turned into a weapon. Chen nodded grimly. This is why we developed our technology differently. The Nexus Collective expected conventional warfare. Shields, weapons, tactics. Instead, we're changing the rules of existence around them. The battle unfolded like nothing ever seen in galactic warfare. The Nexus ships, for all their advanced technology, found themselves fighting an enemy that seemed to ignore the fundamental laws of physics. Human vessels would appear inside their formations, create zones where probability itself collapsed, then vanish before counterattacks could land. Their fleet is adapting, Rodriguez warned. They're attempting to match our probability states. Exactly as we predicted, Chen replied. Initiate Phase 2. The Prometheus and its sister ships suddenly shifted tactics. Instead of manipulating probability, they began generating overlapping temporal fields. Entire sections of the Nexus fleet found themselves trapped in time loops, replaying the same moments of destruction over and over. Impossible. The Nexus commander's transmission cut through all frequencies. Your species cannot have mastered temporal mechanics. You were primitive. Monitoring showed. You monitored what we wanted you to see, Chen responded. Humanity has always excelled at hiding its true capabilities until the moment they're needed most. The Alliance fleet, coordinating perfectly with the human ships, struck at the Nexus vessels caught in temporal distortions. Their conventional weapons proved devastatingly effective against enemies trapped in loops of time or existing in multiple probability states. Admiral, Rodriguez called out, enemy fleet cohesion is breaking down. Their command structure is destabilizing. Chen watched as the massive Nexus fleet began to fragment. Their rigid, hierarchical command structure couldn't adapt to warfare that defied their understanding of reality itself. Ships started retreating individually, their perfectly coordinated fleet doctrine crumbling in the face of human unpredictability. Signal the Ghost Fleet, Chen ordered. Execute final containment protocol. The smaller, more agile Ghost Fleet vessels emerged from their probability clouds, their gravity weapons creating a web of distorted spacetime that trapped the retreating Nexus ships. Caught between conventional Alliance weapons, human reality warping technology, and their own inability to adapt quickly enough, the mighty Nexus fleet began to crack. They're broadcasting the surrender signal, Rodriguez announced, his voice tight with disbelief. The battle that was supposed to be humanity's first real test in galactic warfare had instead become a demonstration of why underestimating Earth was a fatal mistake. As the Nexus ships powered down their weapons, Ambassador Kestal turned to Chen. Your species, they said, their crystalline form glowing with amazement. You didn't just develop different technology. You changed the very nature of how war can be fought." Chen smiled slightly. Humanity has always understood one fundamental truth. The most dangerous weapon isn't the one that's biggest or most powerful. It's the one your enemy doesn't expect and can't counter because they never. Victory and recognition. The Grand Chamber of the Galactic Alliance Council gleamed with crystalline light, its vast dome showing real-time views of countless stars and worlds. Admiral Chen stood before the assembled representatives of over 500 spacefaring civilizations, her dress uniform carrying both Earth's insignia and the newly granted symbols of Alliance Command. 3 months ago, Council leader Zexmar addressed the gathering, their energy form pulsing with formal dignity. "We faced extinction at the hands of the Nexus Collective. Today, we stand victorious, thanks to a species many of us had dismissed as primitive." Holographic displays activated throughout the chamber, showing footage from the historic battle. Human ships phased through reality, wielded gravity as a weapon, and turned the laws of physics themselves into tools of warfare. The assembled representatives watched in continued amazement as the most powerful hostile fleet in known space crumbled before human ingenuity. What we witnessed, Zexmar continued, was more than just a military victory. It was a reminder that advancement doesn't always follow predictable paths. While we perfected our quantum technologies, humanity explored concepts we had deemed impossible. Chen stepped forward at the Council's gesture. "Earth didn't develop in isolation," she began, her voice carrying throughout the chamber. "When we first detected your quantum communications, we faced a choice: announce ourselves immediately or prepare quietly for both peace and war. We chose preparation." The displays shifted to show Earth's hidden shipyards, research facilities, and the vast infrastructure that had remained undetected by Alliance monitoring. Humanity has a long history of technological leaps born from necessity. When we realized we weren't alone in the universe, we didn't try to copy your technology. Instead, we asked questions no one else had considered. Ambassador Kestal, now Earth's official representative to the Alliance, joined Chen at the podium. "The humans proved that there are many paths to advancement. Their probability drives and temporal mechanics should have been impossible for their development level, yet they achieved them by approaching problems from completely unique angles. Which brings us to today's historic announcement," Zexmar declared. "The Alliance has voted unanimously to offer Earth not just membership, but a permanent seat on the High Council. Moreover, we propose the creation of a new joint research initiative, combining human theoretical innovation with Alliance technical expertise." Chen smiled slightly, remembering the skepticism the Alliance commanders had shown just months ago. Now, those same leaders were eager to learn humanity's methods, to understand how Earth had developed technology that broke supposed universal laws of development. Furthermore, Zexmar continued, "In light of humanity's crucial role in defeating the Nexus Collective, we are designating Earth as a protected sovereign zone. No Alliance monitoring or interference will be permitted without explicit human approval." The implications were clear. Humanity had earned not just respect, but true independence within the galactic community. They would join the Alliance as equals, not as junior members to be guided and controlled. "There's an old saying on Earth," Chen addressed the Council. "Necessity is the mother of invention." We developed our technology because we had to, knowing that when we finally met alien civilizations, we needed to be ready for any possibility. The Chamber's displays showed the combined fleets of humanity and the Alliance, now working together to secure former Nexus space. The stark contrast between Alliance quantum ships and Earth's reality-bending vessels highlighted how different paths could lead to complementary strengths. "The Nexus Collective failed," Chen concluded, "not because our technology was superior, but because they couldn't comprehend facing an enemy that broke all their assumptions. Humanity's greatest strength isn't our weapons or our ships. It's our ability to think beyond established limitations." As the council session concluded, Chen met privately with Kestal and Zexmar. "The Alliance wants to understand how we developed our technology," she noted. But there's something they still don't fully grasp. What's that? Kestal asked, crystalline form shimmering with curiosity. What they've seen isn't our final form. It's just the beginning. Humanity hasn't stopped innovating. And now that we don't need to hide our advances, she smiled. The galaxy isn't ready for what comes next. In orbit above Earth, the Horizon fleet continued its patrol, hulls shifting between realities, a constant reminder that sometimes the most powerful civilizations are the ones that choose their own path of development. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage, not as supplicants or students, but as pioneers of possibilities that even the most advanced species had never imagined. And somewhere in the vast darkness between the stars, human scientists were already asking new questions, pushing boundaries that the Alliance had never thought to challenge. The age of human innovation was just beginning.